So, in today's video, we're gonna build this pedal right here. It's actually a really cool pedal, and I have to thank one of you subscribers, BS Who, gave me this lovely comment here, and that basically told me that I should take one of those EQ boards that you've seen on the channel before, if you're an old subscriber, and that you will see in the video now when we start building that I've used in other pedals, and that I should put that in together with this circuit and make this pedal this way. Now you might wonder what this circuit is. Well, last year I found a little headphone amp, you know, the sort of thing that you can plug in earphones and into your guitars and you can practice with. And it was some weird kind of echo thing from, I don't know, it seemed very old. But anyway, I experimented a little bit in a previous video with like what I want to do to this thing and do I want to turn it into a pedal. And I decided, you know, I might as well turn it into a pedal and see what happens and mess around with it. First I was thinking I wouldn't turn it into a pedal until I was done with the circuit and had made it into something cool. But then over Christmas I sort of was thinking about what should I be building, and I just thought, you know, New Year's is coming, I need to have some new exciting thing, and having this pedal build is going to be a great thing. I can just swap out things later and experiment with it and finalize it, and you know, maybe we'll get a couple of cool videos, maybe we won't. Who knows what the future will bring. That's enough for now. If you haven't seen that video, check in the link below, and maybe you can find that thing and rebuild this. If you can't, don't worry, I have other practice amps and small little headphone amps that I'm gonna turn into pedals, so you might be able to follow along then. But for now, let's start. So here is the pedal, and a quick overlook before we start putting this together. You have a switch here, some old wires we need to remove. But first, here is the little EQ board, the kind that I get off of Amazon, for example. This one is called X-Age M802. You can see it right there. And it's just mounted inside the enclosure. Here is the volume for this pot. We're not going to use it as a volume in this pedal anymore. It's going to be a distortion. And that's because I feel like that's a better use for it. This thing will go into distortion the more you move this. Obviously it is a volume, but that's basically what distortion controls are anyway. It's also mounted inside here, just as the EQ board, the switches, and also the LED right here. Here we have the two jacks, and I'm also gonna add in the DC right there real soon. I just forgot to do it before. And this thing here is the little Echo mini amplifier, the little headphone thing. If you saw the other video, you saw the other video. If you didn't see the other video, you didn't see it. You can see these wires here. That doesn't look very good. That could break any second. And all we basically have to do is connect this to this and have both of those connected to the switch and then to the two jacks. So it really shouldn't be that hard. I'm gonna cut these off because I don't think we need them anymore. We'll leave the switch alone for now and just take a look here and see. In from this will be the in here to the switch, and the out from here will be out going into the in on this pedal. You have three legs here on this, and the first one is the left channel and the last one is the right channel, and the middle one is the ground. So let's take this one's out, which is this one, and see if we can connect it with a little bit of solder to the first leg right here, something like that. And we'll take this one's ground as well, which we may have to switch out for a better piece of wire. And then we take this, reach in that wire as well. And then we connect that. And then this one goes to the upper leg on the switch, just like so. Just make sure it can neatly be folded in like so that we can have a nice place. So let's replace these two wires. Let's start off by heating this up and pulling this out and adding in this new ground wire that looks a little bit nicer and that is also going in the right direction. And let's put this one in there as well. So I think that looks a little bit cleaner. And as you can see, the wires are now being pulled towards the jack. So let's put in the jack. I suggest always to sort of finger tighten everything down and then come back once you're happy and everything is working and you've made sure that you've actually been able to tighten everything down then. There we have it. Gonna have the board somewhere over here by the end, so these wires don't need to be that long. I'll show you. I'll pull them over here and you can see this is how long they need to be, but then I'll give myself a little extra, something like that. It's always a challenge, I think, when you're building pedals like these, you know, that are made out of something else that was not supposed to be a pedal, to get a neat construction, and having things float around in the pedal and having things sort of add in extra ground wire, because we're gonna need a little bit of a ground wire going to the LED as well. Might as well put it in now. And the same thing goes for this lead wire as well. It can be a little bit fiddly to get these things to stick together, but hopefully we can make them stick together long enough for us to solder them together. And then we can just push this one up to the ground connection here, and they're floating together. Something like that, I think, would be good. The shorter leg on the LED, closest to the switch because I put it in the wrong way around, that's the ground leg. So I'm going to pull this wire up here, try to make it look neat, cut a bit off, strip it back, something like that. It's connected, and we can just cut off the excess of the leg, something like that. You might think that we should connect this one right there, but we're not going to do that. We are going to pull this wire through this rat nest of cables up to the switch and give ourselves a little wiggle room with the wire, push it through the hole, and so now it's in there, so that we can basically use the switch as a kill switch, and this can be pushed in there again. I like to try to have short cables, as you probably can tell. I don't really like the whole long wires dangling in all directions, but I also realize that we have to have a little bit of wiggle room, because the longer cables you have just flopping around in here, the more you have something that can touch something it shouldn't touch. I'm gonna bend this down like this and bend it back up like this to just have it out of the way, and I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna strip it back like so, and I had a little bit of solder, and move this one in. There we go. Managed to get it in place. Let's see now. I can push this down in a direction that doesn't break anything. Have this one maybe raised up a little bit. So there we have the positive leg of the LED, and I'm just going to attach this resistor to it, and that's just so things don't burn up. So something like that. And then we can just move this about, move this in here. So there we have a little bit of shrink tube. Should probably have more. Probably should have added the shrink tube, even putting the LED into place. And then we just have to put this wire up here, see if we can do it, into the leg to connect them and melt everything together. Something like that, right? It's just you need a wire to the output jack. You know, something like that. It's in there. We'll pull this one up here. And it's so little left. Let's just solder it in place. We won't win anything on really cutting this wire down to size, I think. Add it there. There it is. Except for this ground wire here that I want to pull over here to this jack. We're good to go. Patch that one there. Make it a little bit extra long just because it's a little annoying. There we go. It's attached. I want to put a little bit of this tape I have right here, which is electrical tape that will insulate things. I want to put a little bit of that on the switch just because this might touch that. It's a part of the whole trying to put everything in a nice place and put everything into the pedal in a neat way. I'm just going to do it like this. Anyway, so there you have it. It's all good, it's all done. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit different than my other pedal building videos, but you know, every now and then we gotta change things up. And you know, it's still a new year, so maybe this is the time to do it. If you like it, if you like the video, if you like what I do here, you can click the like and the subscribe button, especially if you haven't already pressed the subscribe button or the like button. You can click those. If you want to, you can follow me on Instagram. This year I'm going to try to make Instagram a little bit more streamlined. I'm going to try to have a little bit of behind the scene things going there. And yeah, so if you're interested in having a little bit more than the videos you're getting, then consider following me on Instagram. Let me know what you think of the pedal in the comments below. And if you have any cool ideas for what to do with it, because like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not completely sure yet what I want to do with it, but I'm thinking that at some point we're going to start switching things out a little bit more than we did in the first video, and we'll see what happens. So talk to me in the comments below. You can just write hi with 3 exclamation marks, you know, all in caps, just to help the algorithm find this video. I appreciate that too. But anyway, until next time, don't forget to stay awesome and cool and go and build a pedal. Can be anything. Just, you know, you should build a pedal. You haven't built a pedal in too long, even if you just finished one. But anyway, you haven't built a pedal in too long, so you need to go do that. And I will see you, hopefully, in the next video. Bye-bye for now.